Yo, what's on guys, it's Tom, welcome back to a brand new video, and my second video of the day on a rare double upload for me. And if you did miss the video, upload it and do click the card in the top right hand corner of your screen, which was regarding a bit of MotoGP content, something different for the channel. But now we're back to the usual F1 content, and I did a race preview for Assen in MotoGP, so I'm going to do a race preview for this weekend's Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Now, more in a preview, this is going to be more focused on the gameplay. It's going to be a bit of a last to first challenge with the famous McLaren Honda with his Honda power unit around these massive straights. If you do want to watch a bit of a preview, then I do urge you to go check out the Pit Lane podcast in the description down below, where me, Arav and Callum talk about the upcoming Grand Prix and how we thought the Grand Prix was going to go. So I'll leave a link down below for you guys to go check it out. But here we are then, we're racing at Baku as Fernando Alonso, and let's all just sort of say a prayer for this as we gear up to 5 red lights for Azerbaijan, and it's going to be lights out and away we go in this last to first challenge. And it's a pretty good start off the grid. Ignore the two manners behind, they all get disqualified as they're basically not factored in as cars for this season, as we now go up the inside of a couple of cars now, making a nice move, getting past a couple of people into the first corner, now behind Kevin Magnussen as we go into turn 2 this time. Another 90-degree left-hander trying to slide up the inside of the Danish driver, now having a bit of a drag race and a traction battle with Julian Palmer, the man who in real life is severely under pressure, who's in the Renault right next to us here, and Palmer actually getting the measure of us. It removes the straight line speed obviously, but then we go nice and late on the brakes, just like Fernando Alonso would, up the inside of turn 3 and re-overtake the British driver there for a solid P15 or P14 I believe, as we now filter through towards the end of sector 1. And so far the lap's been off to a pretty good start. We've got our front wing in one piece, which is crucial, and you have noticed we've started on the soft tyre instead of the super soft. So the reason here is to try and go a little bit longer in this first stint and try and go for a bit of a different strategy, because the tyre wear is not a major factor, so I want to be on them super softs at the end of the race just for a better track position. So as you can see, moving towards the end of lap 1, and here we go then, this is where the pain begins. I've cranked up into rich mix, I'm running very low aero, and Palmer's going to try and make a move. I'm actually going faster than him somehow. So somehow Palmer got out of slipstream and I got away from him, and now look at this, I've got a good run on my teammate and also Grosjean as well. Are we going to slow one up the inside? Yes we do, in the exact same place where we got past Magnussen last lap, and we pull off a double overtake. So that went from being under pressure from one car to overtaking 2 there, and up into P12 in the space of a couple of corners. So there you go. And so far the car working quite nicely, obviously struggling in the straights, but because I'm in the slipstream, as you'll see right now, because I'm in the slipstream, there's no major hindrance in terms of straight line speed. Luckily I'm right at the back of the train, so I can just pick up the toe nicely and take it easy. Right now you've got both of the Force Indias and Carlos Sainz lurking dangerously, and I'm actually going to pick up a massive toe, and look at the straight line speed we've got in the McLaren Honda as we go up the inside, making it 3 wide into the first corner, and we get past also the Force India as well, up into P9. So there you go, getting past 3 cars into the first corner. Unbelievable stuff here in the McLaren, working beautifully around Baku. If it worked this well in the real life Grand Prix, they'd easily get points. But we've got to come back to reality now as we go into this back straight, and now look at this, Esteban Ocon in the Force India. Look at the straight line speed as he slides up the inside, but Fernando Alonso, the former 2-time world champion, having absolutely none of it, going around the outside, and we hold on to P9. So nice move there from Fernando, and Ocon just trying to abuse the straight line speed that he has in that Force India, but it's no use, and he's got to settle for P10 for a little bit longer. And by a little bit longer I mean until the end of the lap, because when we go back onto the pit straight, look at this, here comes the Pink Panther, and look at that, it just, yeah, it's just a mismatch. It's just nothing there. It's all gone. So I'm in rich mix, I'm trying to match him. So there you go, Ocon just absolutely just swooshes past like an absolute jet, and we can't do nothing about it. But like I said, just tucking into the slipstream through the corners, the McLaren works beautifully, and obviously with a few straights around this track, as long as you stay in the slipstream, you've always got a fighting chance. And here's Perez now making a move, but now I open up the DRS, and that's going to sort of neutralise Perez a little bit as I get a good run on Ocon, and I'm slowly starting to catch Ocon bit by bit, and eventually we are going to pull to the inside and retake P9 versus the Force India in Baku. Unbelievable, with a personal best lap of the race in the process, and we're mixing it up with these guys on a slower compound tyre as well. So the McLaren working absolutely beautifully around this circuit. But once again, onto this back straight, you've got to wonder, what is Esteban Ocon going to do? Because even though I've got DRS, he's got DRS as well. Here he goes up the inside. Is he going to pull it off this time? Not quite. Alonso just getting the measure of him on the brakes into the braking zone of turn 3 and holding on to P9. But so far this has gone much better than I expected, and we now move on to the end of lap 5, and Ricciardo is going very slowly in that Red Bull, and he's actually going to peel off into the pit lane I believe, as he's going to the inside of the track, and I'm going to get DRS and capitalise and benefit from that. I'm going to overtake him up into P8 and then up into P5 after a few more people go into the pit lane. So right now things are looking pretty good from McLaren Honda around Baku, which is something that I don't think you'll be saying in the real-life Grand Prix this weekend, especially based off of Friday practice where they're a couple of 20 miles down on the straights. But look at this now, lap 6. And we've got the other force in there of Sergio Perez this time, lining me up for a move. And this time he's got much more alongside than Ocon has. He's actually squeezing me a little bit to the outside. But Alonso, once again, having absolutely none of it as he goes around the outside and holds on to the position. Beautiful stuff, and the McLaren just holding its own. So once again, the low aero setup really helping out, and it's still holding its own on the straight just about. Now onto lap 6, and I was going to stay off a few more laps on these soft tyres, but I looked at my tyre wear and it was so low, so I thought to myself, let's just come into the pit lane and strap on the super softs because they're not going to wear out from here until the end of the race. So we're going to come into the pit lane. Perez is following us in. We're pushing the limit by locking up the left front, and we are going to come in for our one and only start this race onto a set of Red Bull super soft tyres. And now we've just got to rely on the McLaren Honda pit crew to give us a nice quick pit stop. So here we go then. Hitting our marks, switching over to the Red Bull Super Softs, and it's a fairly quick stop there. We're back on the way and ahead of Sergio Perez, crucially, as we rejoin now. Let's see where things pan out. There's Vettel, I believe, and there's Massa, who's just coming around the first corner. So could we race Massa and get an overcut on the Brazilian driver? That'd be fantastic. And yes, we have. We squeezed Massa out. We actually get past Massa, so we've actually made the overcut work, getting past the Brazilian driver. So there you go. Not too bad. As we go now into the next lap, lap 8, and we've got Sebastian Vettel caught up in traffic, and there's a bit of a slowdown process here. Everyone's sort of slowing each other down, and Vettel's getting caught up in this. I'm just going to dive one up the inside of Vettel, and also Ericsson as we lose the back end, but we just hold it beautifully there. And Alonso making every single last chance count here, and we've actually got ourselves up into P8. So incredible stuff here, and we're on the super soft. So don't forget, we're going to have the benefit of the faster tyres now for the final stint of this race. All we've got to do now is try and get through this traffic, and next up it's Jolyon Palmer in the Renault once again, so we're going to have to re-overtake him like we did earlier on in the Grand Prix. He's on old soft, so I think we're just going to try and go for the lunge, and yes we do, up the inside, nice and aggressive, and we pull off the overtake for P7. All we've got to do now is get past Nico Hülkenberg, and then we've got Max Verstappen up ahead. But even if we just overtake Hülkenberg, we're going to be in P6 in the McLaren Honda around Baku, and we start last in P6. Unreal, absolutely unreal. But here we go then, side by side with Hülkenberg, and Hülkenberg squeezing me to the inside, and I'm wondering if he wants to come into the pit lane, and yes he does. He comes into the pit lane, so Hülkenberg comes in. There's a yellow flag behind, so something's happened further down the track. But okay, Grosjean's out of the race, so something pretty bad's happened there, because that's quite weird for that to happen. So we're just going to look at a replay and see what happened. We're on one ball with Grosjean here, and I think he's going to come into the pit lane. That'd be my guess. And here he goes. He pulls to the inside. And oh my God, that's a huge crash straight into the wall. The soundboard just completely put him in the wall there, and that's very unfortunate for Romain Grosjean. But moving on to lap 9 now, and Sebastian Vettel eventually got past the back markers and the slow moving cars, and he's now back up to the back of us here. And look at the straight line speed. Oh my God, look at that. He's just absolutely minced us up in a straight line. He retakes P6, and we're momentarily back down to P7. However, because we're on the super soft, the pace was absolutely brilliant, and we managed to stay with Vettel through the DRS zones the remainder of the race, and we skipped all the way until the last lap of the race with a little bit of rich mix I have left. And can we try and get Vettel across the line with a last minute pop in this McLaren Honda? We've stuck with him all this way. We've managed to fry, obviously, because of the super soft tyres. And here we go, then we're going to open up the DRS right about now. We've got a huge run on Vettel, and it looks like we are going to make it, and we're going to come across the line for P6 in the McLaren Honda at Baku. Absolutely unbelievable scene. So incredible result, P6 there. I would have never imagined that starting from last. So let me know in the comments down below, guys, what you thought of that race, and also let me know of your predictions for this weekend's race. Like I said, the predictions that I made are in the Pit Lane podcast, which I'll link down below in the description. But that is the final order with the Mercedes 1-2, and Lance Stroll in P3 there, good result for him, and then we finished in P6. So absolutely unbelievable stuff there. So hopefully you guys did enjoy this sort of different video. Like I said, if you did miss the video I uploaded earlier today, the MotoGP race preview for this weekend's Dutch Grand Prix, then I do urge you to go check that out also if you haven't seen it already. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the constant content on my channel. Hopefully tomorrow should be the return of Carp. We recorded an episode, me and Callum, yesterday, so that should be going towards your sub boxes tomorrow. So I hope you guys look forward to that. I'm going to try and get the finale of Career Mode up for Sunday, and then from that we're going to move into Season 3. I've got some really exciting plans lined up. But nevertheless, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this particular video. If you did, then a thumbs up would be greatly appreciated. And like I said, let me know your predictions down below in the comment section. But I hope you guys did enjoy the video, and I thank you ever so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. So from me, it's goodbye.